Hello friends, in today's section we are going to cover Microsoft SQL Server Integration Services, also known as SSIS. SSIS is a data integration product platform from Microsoft. It is used to perform ETL, extract, transformation, and load. So let's first give a couple of minutes to understand what is this. Extract means the process, the phase where we capture the data. It can be from different sources like flat files like text files, CSV files, or it could be a well-defined data structure. We can use so many different options. It could be a Salesforce, SAP, CRM, Sybase, any database. Once the data is captured, the second step is transformation. So we clean the data, scrap the data, and then we apply transformation so that it meets the business requirement and the format that we need in our data warehouses. So we can add couple of more columns, we can filter out the data. So we do all that manipulation in this second phase, which is transformation. And in the third phase, which is load, we will put this data into our databases. So usually these are three broad sections of any ETL process. To illustrate it in this video, we are going to take one example, one XLS file, material list.xls, and then we are going to add a new column, total cost, and then we'll load that into our database. So first let's have a look at the file itself. So this is the XLS file. It's a very small file, captured for the demonstration purpose, around 75 records. It has three columns: item code, material cost, and variable cost. So we will take this data as it is, get it into SSIS, then we will add one more column, which will be total cost, to illustrate how we can do a simple data manipulation, and then we will upload it into the server. So first let's go into Management Studio and create the schema for the table where we will upload the information. So I'll open the Management Studio on my system. It's taking a little longer. I don't know why. Usually it starts pretty smoothly and quickly. Okay, here we go. So as you have seen, I have opened my Management Studio. Now I'll go to database and create a new database. So say I'll create a new database and call it material billing, or let's call it material repository. Press OK, and the database is created. As you can see, material repository. Now I'll go here and create a new table. So we will keep the same columns as we have seen in the file. So let's have a quick look again: item code, material cost, and variable cost. So we can give it different column name. It's not like you have to give the same name as it in the Excel file. So let's call item code as the material code or material ID. You can keep it any data type. I usually prefer NVARCAT 255. Second was variable cost or material cost. We'll call it decimal. And then variable cost. So we have added these three columns. Now let's one more where we'll as a placeholder for the total cost. So you can keep it cost or total cost. I'm keeping it total cost so that it's easy to understand. So with that, we have added four columns, and let us define material ID to be the primary key. And then we'll say don't allow null in this. Okay. So now this is the table schema that we have created, and I'll give it the name, say material billing. Okay, so now we have a table here. Let's quickly refresh it and see if our table is visible. So now as you can see, material billing table is there, schema is here. Now if you'll just select top couple of rows, it will say blank because yet we have not uploaded any data here. It's just a schema that we have created. So with that, we have seen the Excel file. Also, we have created a schema for the table where we will be uploading the data. Now let's open the Visual Studio and start creating an SSIS package. Okay. So I have Visual Studio 2019. I'll create a new project, which is an SSIS project. So integration services project, click and click next. I'll give it the name, say material billing demo and say create. So this is the home screen. Let's have a quick look. Uh, any package, SSIS package will have two major components, control flow and data flow. Control flow is where we define the sequence, the workflow, the actual process execution, and data flow is the place where we define the data manipulation operations. So these two are very important sections of any SSIS package. On the left, what you find is a toolbox. So we can just drag the uh, relevant operator from the left and then create the flow out of it. So let's take this using this example, you understand it better. So first we'll go to control flow and then first we will start with the data flow task. So in this task, we are going to import the data from our Excel file, right? So I'll simply say, so you can see as soon as I clicked on that, it has taken me to data flow. Let me show you again. So if I'm on a data flow, control flow, and if I double click, then it will open up the respective data flow. So let's first rename it and I'll call it import data. Now here, first we will start getting data from the source. So on the left, you see I have scrolled down. In other sources heading, I'll drag the Excel file, Excel source. So this will allow me to read my data from an Excel source. As you can see, there are two arrows, blue arrow and red arrow. The blue arrow means the data flow and the red arrow is for the error output. Right now you will see a cross here because it's not yet configured. So let's configure it first. So it says we need an Excel connection manager. We'll create a new Excel connection manager and we will browse it to point towards the file which we want to upload. Okay. So you can see materialist.xls has been selected. Next, it is the spreadsheet. So the tab is material cost. I'll go to columns. So you can see all the three columns, item code, material cost, and variable cost have been selected. Click OK. Now you see the cross is gone. That means it is well configured. Next part is to create the extra column, which was total cost. So for that, we will drag the derived column. So first we will connect the output of Excel source to this derived column. Then let's click here. So whatever output we are getting from the Excel source, which were item code, material cost, and variable cost, these three are already listed. Now we want to create a fourth column. So just give the name of the derived column. I'll call it total cost. And then it gives an option. Do you want to add a new column or you want to replace the existing one? So we'll say add as a new column. Expression, I can simply drag and drop this. So SSIS is very easy that way. It's so simple to use. Then I'll click operator to be plus and then add the variable cost here and then click OK, right? So with that, we have, I'll just quickly show you what we did. We went to columns and we dragged variable cost and material cost here. And then we use the plus operator to add them. And we have given it a new name, total cost. Okay. Now with that, we have the raw data. We have added a new column. Now let's put a destination. So for that, we'll go to other destinations. We will, for that, we will drag the OLE DB destination. Again, the output of derived column will be input to this. Again, it is showing the cross because it's not yet configured. So let's configure it. It is asking for the connection manager. So let's create a new connection manager. And this is place where we have to go to our server and get the connection information. So first we'll see what is the name of the server. So for example, I'll create new, give the server name, then says which database, right? So we'll go to material repository and click OK. Now we have created a connection with this server and with the material repository database. Now the next part is to see which column, which table we want to include. So we'll be using material billing. So this will be our destination. So whatever data will be the output of this SSIS will get uploaded into this table. So select this. Next, go to the mappings. So we can see total cost has directly been mapped to total cost. Now we will map item code with material ID, material cost with mat cost, and variable cost with var cost. So now you can see all these four arrows. They define that on the left you have the inputs which we received from Excel, added a new column, and then on the right we have the destination table. So it says item code from SSIS would get appended as material ID into the table. Click OK. So now you see the cross is gone. So that means three steps: importing data from Excel, adding a new column through a derived column feature, and then using a destination source, and then uploading this data into the database. All these three things are in place in Dataflow. So now let's run this. But before we run it, let's have a quick look here. This database, as you can see, is blank as of now, right? Now let's run it. So you see, it has taken 73 rows and then passed it to the derived column. So it has added new column, and then these 73 rows have been passed to the database. Now if we go here and run this again, you can see our table is populated with this data. So it was pretty easy, right? Uh, we just went to an Excel file, we created an Excel connection, read the data, added a new column, and then simply uploaded it into our database. So it's as simple as that. Now, if we want to do a lot more operations, or we want to use different types of data, types, databases, we can always do it, and we will cover them in our next video. For now, what we started with, a material list, we were able to add the column and then upload that into a database. Thank you so much for watching it. See you in the next video. Bye bye.